All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, once again for the Paranormal Portal. And I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and this is our journey into the dark, unknown crevices of the paranormal. We don't explore other crevices. Not on this show anyway, but I'm...
No, we have for our fans only fans page for that.
Looking for other crevices, check out Don's OnlyFans. So anyway, it is, I guess you know already, but I am joined, of course, by the big toe himself, my good friend and co-host, and the big toe of the Paranormal Portal, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing?
That thing still hurts.
It does, huh?
Yeah, every now and then I'll like curl my toes or something, and it'll pop, like it pops out of place, like it's broke again. I can just keep breaking the stupid thing.
It's because it's the size of a table tennis racket. It's like boom, huge. All the times you've beaten it up, Don.
Oh boy,
it's this swollen mess, I'm sure. But anyway,
that's what she said.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're hitting the gutter early tonight, folks. Why wait when we could go there now? We might as well just start low, and that way we don't fall later.
Yeah, that way we have less gravity to hit the ground with.
We'll start really low, and you'll have no expectations for anything else, and we might surprise you. I might get better. You never know. But that's how we roll here. My God, it always is a train wreck in some way, isn't it?
Well,
but a good one, I think.
It's better than a swollen mess.
I got some localized swelling I need you to look at, Don.
Oh no, I will pass on that.
I would encourage you to.
Well, then why do you say?
I'm just trying to share.
Let's see.
Anyway. God, how do you move on from that? I don't even know.
Hola.
But we are going to be getting to a lot of the paranormal goodness you've come to love here on the Paranormal Portal. We're going to start with the news.
That's what he calls it, at least.
What, the news?
No, the paranormal goodness.
Oh, I hope it's goodness. I hope it's good enough. I mean, look, Don, every time we turn on the lights, all these wonderful people show up. So something's right. Something's going right here, right?
Must be.
Either that or it's like everybody likes to watch the train wreck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Show up and see.
You're going to say that.
What are they going to do next, those idiots?
Don's going to say something so wild.
Yeah, what's Don going to say next? Oh, my God.
One will never know.
Some are saying, I didn't even see his beard move, and he's talking.
Oh, jeez.
It's Don the ventriloquist.
It's called chin wagging for a reason.
I might try to do that, actually.
What?
Make a Don ventriloquist thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, God.
I just need you to make me one of those beanies.
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have Mrs. Portal whip one up then. We have ways of copying your style.
Oh, nobody can copy my style. It's been tried before by people.
There can be only one.
There can be only one.
There should be only one as well.
I said that one should be probably put in jail.
Yeah. Well, or
jacket. Asylum. Yeah,
given a jacket with a wraparound sleeves. Yeah. There you go, Don. It's time for pudding.
Pudding? Can I have chocolate pudding, please?
A Don marionette. No, I can't do a marionette, but the ventriloquist thing, that would be fun.
I can.
You can?
Yeah, because in 6th grade we made what we called wiggle walkers. We're basically, a crossbar and you had hands and feet and head, and I might be able to do that.
Oh, great! Yeah, we'll probably do it on your channel. Actually, I think somebody did that with those. What were those white? They were night crawlers that they were called, or whatever in California. Those walking pants, basically.
Fresno,
crawlers, yeah, Fresno crawlers. They were like pants that would walk along. It's like what? Yeah. Dre came in and says, "What's cracking, boys?" Well, we are. You'd think we were hitting the pipe or something around here, but nope. We're actually this is actually the sober version, believe it or not. So I don't know how that works, but anyway, we got the news to get to. We're going to get to some UFO news and information, and then we're going to get to some cryptid corner and everything else in between. I mean, you just never know where we end up here on the show. But if you guys in chat, the phones are still not working, so when you see call in like there. The phone lines are not working, and it looks like the subscription wound up and it hasn't been renewed. So in that case, we have no phones right now.
I wonder why that is.
I'm not sure. But since I was, chaining along with TFR,
Right.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm still trying to check into it. So at any rate, we can't take phone calls tonight, but you do have the option of chatting. Don will be watching the chat. I'll be watching the chat when I can, and just at least capitalize your post so that it really stands out, so that Don will notice it more. But Don does a good job of keeping in touch with you guys throughout the show, much better than I do. So
I like touching.
Oh God. You get the wah-wahs, Don.
Touch me.
Jesus, Don. God, don't make me mute you. You're going to lose your microphone privileges pretty quick. Stop. Oh, my God. I muted him. All right, we're going to try again, Don. No karaoke.
Ah.
All right, there you are.
You flaked me out. You faked me out. That's what it is.
I just hadn't engaged yet. I was looking for acquiescence first.
Do we ever really engage?
I don't know. But we are going to right now because it's time for the news, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to get all newsed up.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Here it comes.
Meow, meow.
Chicken brown cow. Brown chicken brown cow.
It's so lame. That's so funny. It's lame. There you go, folks. We were actually singing along. Jesus.
I don't know if Wes ever meant for there to be words to that, but it kind of self-perpetuated itself.
You know what the sad thing is I can't unhear that. Every time that damn song plays, in my head, your voice is going, brown chicken, brown cow. It's like, God, dang. I just can't get it out of there. It's not an earworm. It's like an ear maggot. It's like bedded in there somewhere.
Boring in my ear.
What's wrong with my head? It's made a home in my skull, and I don't know. You wonder why I listen to Spotify a lot in here. Yeah.
Right?
All your weird stuff is coming back.
Well,
back.
It can't be that bad because you listen to Sia, for God's sakes.
Oh, she's good. She's really good.
Sure.
She is.
Sure.
Quit hating, Don.
I ain't hating.
I have a diverse musical taste. And welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk, ladies and gentlemen.
You mean a divergent.
Well, yeah. Or a perverse musical taste. I don't know, diverse or perverse.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Okay, we covered that brown chickens and cows. Jeez. All right, we're going to get to the news, ladies and gentlemen, where I got some articles pulled up for you. And hopefully you enjoyed these. I think I got 4 tonight. I was going to do the what happened on this date in history, but their site is down. So I didn't find it. Unless you pull one up, Don, like what happened today in history.
Okay.
And Don can take that part of the newscast. I just can't get it to work. I was using Britannica or something, and it said nope. Tonight, it said nope. So we won't be covering that segment, but the first story up for grabs tonight on the news is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Please support this site. It's an amazing site. They do a wonderful job.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's important that you guys support it because your traffic equals revenue for them. And we definitely don't want them to go away. It's a wonderful site. So from unexplained-mysteries.com, the first article is Inception in Real Life. Can we communicate through dreams? That's an interesting thing. I don't know. I guess we can read it first. I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to read all of this. We're just going to read the top end of it because I thought it was really interesting. And I'll put the link in the chat. You guys can read the full version of it. But it says scientists are finding new ways to interact with someone who is sleeping via lucid dreaming. Now that's almost scary though, right? Like what if they can just project themselves into your sleep?
Yeah, no, you know what? So at this point, I'm glad that I don't sleep.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
At this point, I'm just happy.
Yeah. Being awake is probably preferred rather than having somebody programming you while you're asleep.
Yep.
Anyway, God only knows what the ramifications of something like this are. But in his sci-fi film Inception 2010, Christopher Nolan imagined his protagonist slipping into other people's dreams and even shaping their contents. Yeah, that's a scary version. But what if this story wasn't so far away from real life? Oh, geez. Our research suggests it is possible to interact with volunteers while they are asleep and even to converse with them at certain key moments. God, that's that's going to get misused. You just know it. The scientific study of dreams, while we sometimes wake up with vivid memories from our nocturnal adventures, at others, the impressions of a dreamless night prevails. Yeah, that's me. I very rarely remember my dreams. Do you? Again, when you sleep, I mean.
Well, I've had I've had one very profound dream within the last 5 years that I can actually remember very well.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have, bits and pieces here and there occasionally.
Sure.
But not really, not
okay.
many.
All right, yeah, I don't usually remember either, but research shows we remember on average 1 to 3 dreams per week. However, not everyone is equal when it comes to recalling dreams. People who say they never dream make up about 2.7 to 6.5% of the population. Often these people used to recall their dreams.
Answer.
As an answer. Ghostbox says answer. People who say they never dream, often these people used to recall their dreams when they were children. The proportion of people who say they have never dreamt in their entire life is very low at 0.38%.
Wow.
Whether people remember their dreams depends on many factors, such as gender. Women remember their dreams more frequently than men. One's interest in dreams, as well as the way dreams are collected. Some might find it handy to keep track of them with a dream journal or a recorder, for example. Yeah, but you'd still have to be able to remember them.
Right, yeah.
So if you're never remembering them, what are you going to wake up going, no dreams?
Gosh.
2 a.m., still no dreams.
Wish I was asleep.
Okay.
No, for me, it's 2 p.m., 2 a.m., gotta pee. 3 a.m., gotta pee. 4 a.m., gotta pee.
You might want to see a doctor about that.
Yeah, we've talked about that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The private and fleeting nature of dreams makes it tricky for scientists to capture them. Nowadays, however, thanks to knowledge acquired in the field of neuroscience, it is possible to classify a person's state of alertness by analyzing their brain activity, muscle tone, eye movements. Well, obviously, you can tell when somebody's in REM sleep.
Right.
Scientists can thus determine whether a person is asleep and what stage of sleep they're in. Sleep onset, light, slow wave sleep, deep slow wave sleep, or rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. Where are we going with all this? Yeah, that's what they've discovered. Here's lucid dreaming. Most of us only realize we've been dreaming upon waking. Lucid dreamers, on the other hand, have the unique ability to remain aware of the dreaming process during REM sleep, a stage of sleep during which brain activity is closer to that of the waking phase. Okay, great. And when do we get from fiction to reality, talking to the dreamer? We already knew that lucid dreamers were capable of sending information from their dreams, but what can they also receive it? In other words, is it possible to talk to a lucid dreamer? To find out, we exposed a lucid dreamer to tactile stimuli while he was asleep, and we also asked him closed questions such as, do you like chocolate? He was able to respond by smiling to indicate yes and by frowning to indicate no. Lucid dreamers were also presented with the simple mathematical equations verbally, and they were able to provide appropriate answers while remaining asleep. So they're getting sneaky. Well, anyway, expanding the communication portal. To find out whether we could communicate in the same way with any sleeper, whatever the stage of sleep, we conducted experiments with non-lucid dreaming volunteers without sleeping disorders, as well as with people suffering from narcolepsy. This disease, which causes involuntary sleep paralysis, and an early onset of the REM phase, is associated with an increased propensity for lucid dreaming. Well, there you go. I guess, yeah, if you're going to be asleep that much, it might be more likely you're going to have lucid dreams. The law of averages, right?
But the problem with narcolepsy is narcoleptic sleep is actually a seizure, so it's not very restful at all.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
I have a brother who has narcolepsy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me that.
No.
Anyway, it goes on and on about them trying to poke into people's dreams and talk to them and figure out whether or not they can communicate.
Talk project?
Yeah. Next, they plug them in.
You are now a battery for the Matrix.
Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Everything's fine.
You're fine. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Counting bodies like sheep, right?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, good song. There it is. There's the link in the chats, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out the article for yourself and get all the information But again, kind of stuff like this kind of freaks me out, though, because it's like, what are they going to... Speaking of sleeping, Don, you okay?
I'm fine, thanks. Sorry.
Want some coffee? What's up?
What? Wait a minute. I'm not even on the screen.
Oh, really?
Right here. Hold on a sec.
It'll be coming down there.
Oh, there. Oh, there it is.
There's a latency.
Gosh.
But
It's not latency. That's just latency.
it's kind of scary to me because that somebody's going to try that, make that, and I'm sure probably in I think some of the MK Ultra claims, sleep was a big part of that, and sleep deprivation, and then probably once they did sleep, they probably tried to program people, hypnosis, sleep deprivation, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, sound waves and different elemental things like
Geller.
Cold, hot, anything just to break somebody's will so they could rebuild them.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy stuff. I don't know what do you guys think is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think looking into the sleep state, I think is really powerful because I really think, like in some cases, I think that it's a multidimensional experience for us. I really do. And in fact, the lucid dreaming, I'm pretty convinced is a very real experience as much as being awake. I've had incredible lucid dreams and God, it's amazing because if you're aware, you can actually direct it. You can go, hey, I think I can fly, and you're aware that you're dreaming, but you're aware that you're awake as well. Your mental mind is very much a part of it, and you can direct it, and it's really amazing. It's like being in a VR, it's just incredible, but it's as real as being awake. So very cool. Half asleep state. That's me most days. Maggie says,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maggie.
I share that with you.
Yeah,
It's
well,
because you don't sleep at night, so you gotta sleep somewhere.
I gotta tell you
Should be a
though,
video game.
ladies and gentlemen, since I've been sick and I've been really on a really pretty hardcore diet, and I've lost probably about 50 pounds, close to, and I gotta tell you, I'm sleeping better. I mean, I'm still not sleeping amazingly, but I'm sleeping better for sure.
Good.
So for me, it's been a very good turn. Like, I mean, maybe 50 is a stretch, 45, somewhere in there. But at any rate, it's been incredible. Yeah. No, I guess it is about 50 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost exactly 50 pounds.
Good,
So
good.
very cool.
I do that and I lose my mind.
What, lose weight?
Lose weight and I lose my mind.
Where's your mind? In your butt?
Does the light shine all the way through my head?
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, hey, good to see you, Digger Dog. Thanks for coming in.
Jake was here too.
Jake is here. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, he stopped in the other day. I saw it. I was
cool.
watching a replay, and Jake stopped in. I didn't notice it during the show, but it's good to see Jake back. I've missed him. I missed seeing his smiling text.
Weird text, yeah.
All right, so we're going to get to the next article now. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was interesting. I put the link in the chats if you guys want to check out the full version. I mean, it's kind of more like sciencey, and so it's
big words.
Interesting.
Yes.
There's some big words, but it was these. That's what I love about Unexplained Mysteries is they really write for like my reading level, which is good. They don't like.
See Dick run.
There was a time.
Run, Dick, run.
No, that's not my level, Don. I'm
Don't
a
be
little
a
bit
dick, Jane.
I'm a little above that, Don. I've worked past that, believe it or not. But there was a time I tried to read Rolling Stone, and my God, it's like those authors just go out of their way to be wordy as hell.
Yes, well, they had to flex their little
literary
intellectual.
Yeah, and I really, literally would be like, I have no idea if this person likes this song or not.
Exsanguinate.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you say that in a sentence, please?
Go ahead, Don.
The bodies were found exsanguated, but that's different. That's like the past tense.
Okay.
Exsanguated.
And what does that mean now? That
It means to be drained of blood, for God's sakes.
Okay, because you're throwing out these polysyllabic words, and they're really confusing me. All right. Anyway.
You used a word like 2 weeks ago that was pretty good.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what the hell it was.
I'm glad it left an impression.
That's about it.
Yeah, left an impression, just no details.
Right.
All right, there you go. That's
I think
most
it started with an E.
That's most of my memories, by the way. All right, let's get to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one's good because it's coming from, it has to do with UFOs. And, well, at least the extraterrestrial life theory of Avi Loeb, who is the Harvard professor, who's basically saying he's collected these spherules that he believes came from a possible ET craft that broke up in the atmosphere. So he apparently...
sad they broke up.
I hope they get back together. All right, this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Avi Loeb, I think it's Loeb or Leb, I don't know. Anyway, offers new evidence to suggest that the spherules are alien. Because there's a lot of scientists that are doing, oh no, this is just terrestrial, whatever, little BBs or something like that, or little bearings or whatever. I don't know. Just spherules of maybe a meteorite that broke up in the atmosphere, and that's when the molten metal hit the water. Of course, when metal's dropped in the water in a molten state, it creates little balls. But he's saying nope, and let's see what he has to say. The Harvard astronomer, I clicked it over. The Harvard astronomer discovered the objects on the seafloor while searching for pieces of an interstellar meteorite. Back in June 2023, Loeb, who had been on an expedition to search for pieces of a potentially artificially constructed interstellar object that fell somewhere in the Pacific, published a blog article describing the discovery of mysterious metal spherules. As a composition, he claimed to be anomalous when compared to human-made alloys. We found 10 spherules, he said, and these were almost perfect spheres or metallic marbles. And when you look at them through a microscope, they look very distinct from the background. It has material strength that is tougher than all space rock that we've seen before. At the time, his claims were universally panned by scientists who ultimately concluded that what he had found was likely to be little more than as University of Chicago physicist Patricio A. Gallardo, I don't know how you say that, described it as coal fly ash, a waste product of the combustion of coal in power plants and steam engines. Not content with this explanation, Loeb is now back again with new findings that he claims debunks this particular interpretation and again points towards extraterrestrial origins. What we did is compare 55 elements from the periodic table in coal ash to those special spherules that we found, he said, and it's clearly very different. It's not based on opinions, and of course, if you're not part of the scientific process and you're jealous of the attention that it gets, then you can raise a lot of criticism. The Harvard astronomer also maintains that more should be done to track and study other nearby objects that could have come from distant solar systems. The best approach to figure it out is actually to do the scientific work of building observatories that look out and check for what these objects are, he said. And if they happen to be birds or airplanes or Chinese balloons, so be it. We can move on after that, but we need to figure it out. It's our civil duty as scientists. Oh, nice. He's actually getting a little fiery about it. I like that. Yeah, going right after the detractors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is an actual image. This says Loeb disputes the claims that these spherules are coal ash. And I don't know. I mean, obviously I have no real opinion of it, but I do like this guy. I like that he's really trying to push the needle forward and actually do some science to explore the possibilities. I think there, it's so easy in the hubris of scientists to go, that's ridiculous. It's this. It's got to be this. Right. And not, clearly that person never even researched this stuff other than offering a theory. Right. So and that's so common that if it doesn't fall in their paradigm, they just rather than look into it, which is what true science should do. I mean, to actually be truly using the scientific method, you have to at least be open to all possibilities until you can categorically, refute them. Right. You can't just say, well, it can't be this. That just can't be it. It's got to be this without any empirical evidence to suggest either way. So I just think that arrogance is truly, truly troubling. Did we get a super chat or what is that green?
Oh, I don't know. I was checking the thing.
Scroll up there.
Yeah.
Who's it from?
It's from Lars Grass.
Lars, thank you so much. Thank you for the donation, brother.
Says he's been working the graveyard shift.
I know. I saw that he put that in Discord. And we missed you. Thanks for coming in, man. It's great to see you. Awesome. All right. So there's the latest from Avi Loeb, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
Sorry, I coughed. Keep talking
So Rachel gets it right. Says, what alien device were they part of? If a UFO has traveled into interstellar space, would the metal have broken off a damaged UFO, entering the atmosphere and melted because of spheres with water contact or contact with water? So there you go. Yeah, interesting. Who knows? Maybe it was just blue water.
What's blue water?
Blue water. When blue water falls out of airplanes.
Oh.
You ever watch Donnie Darko?
The blue water. Oh, God. Mommy, it's raining blue. Oh, no. Get
SoCal
out.
Squatcher says probably waste from the propulsion. Well, that might be true, too.
Yeah, it's anybody's guess, but it's at least, again, I give him a lot of credit because at least he's doing something.
He's saying something. He's shaking stuff up and
right.
seeing what falls out.
Right, exactly. I got to sign in here to the... Oh, come on. I'm not going to do that now. I'll have to go back and do that later.
Okay.
Let's do this. Well, I wonder if I could do this. No, never mind. I'll leave it for later. It's not important now anyway. It's just one of my things that I'm logged into to update our website.
Twisty cheeses.
Glad you said cheeses.
Twisty.
All right. We got the next one up is an article from unexplained-mysteries.com again, ladies and gentlemen. And this one has to do with ghosts and hauntings, which is cool. Sorry, I'm getting a little froggy. I haven't talked much today. So it all comes up as I'm talking to you guys. And this is a drone captures footage of mysterious figure in Cannock Chase. Now, I think this is in England, but anyway. It is? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm very geographically challenged. So, all right, let's see what this one's all about. This is by TK Randall, February 6th. And it was yesterday.
I challenge you to find something in there that's not written by TK Randall.
Oh, actually, the last show I did, there was a couple articles that had no attribution at all for author.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh. Yeah, they're pretty much all written by TK Randall, and this person is just a machine, churning out so much. And this is just in the few that I pull. And this site is so full of amazing articles and submissions. So check it out. All right. A woman dressed in white was spotted standing among the trees in this infamous area of rural England. Situated in rural Staffordshire, England, the area of countryside known as Cannock Chase has gained something of a reputation over the years for being home to all manner of weird and disturbing things. Both visitors and locals alike have reported everything from UFOs and paranormal phenomena to sightings of strange creatures wandering through the woods. Yikes. That's a little creepy.
Yes, it is.
This particular sighting, which shows what has been described as by the media as a black-eyed girl, comes courtesy of a drone pilot who captured footage of a mysterious figure in the forest some years ago. I was going to say, I'm sure I've seen this before. Dressed in what appears to be a long white robe, the figure can be made out quite clearly and looks like a woman with long hair just standing there looking at the drone. We've had lots of reports of black-eyed girl seen walking around, local paranormal investigator Robert Plume told The Mirror. At first, she appears like a normal girl, and walkers are worried a little girl is lost in the woods, and then they see her eyes, and she just disappears. Oh, that's a different take. It's terrifying. But what does this footage really show? A ghostly figure? While it's impossible to tell the precise circumstances from the video alone, it's quite likely that the whole thing, is a little more than a prank, and that the ghost is just a regular woman standing there. You can check out the footage for yourself below. I don't know who somebody I guess it's Quadcopter. This is just the title. What is the channel? Oh, from Furious Otter, ladies and gentlemen.
Furious Otter.
Yep, is the one that posted this on YouTube, and we'll check it out. I just want to zoom in on the details. Filming at Cannock Chase. First person we spotted something in the woods. Oh yeah, this is the footage I've seen before. I don't know if I can get it up a little there, man. There we go. A zoomed in view. So yeah, that's why the quality is so terrible. There it is in the trees right there. So we took it down for a closer look. And there they go. Oh yeah, there it is, right about there. Yeah, it definitely looks like a figure.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember looking at this. It was years ago, yeah. So I think I saw it when it first came out. But it's definitely someone standing there. Well, yeah, clearly. And then like shielding her eyes, it looks like, from the sun, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like she's holding up her hand like a visor?
Maybe she's like putting it to the side of her head so you can't see me.
Maybe. Yeah, putting it in front of her face like, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Maybe. Ooh, or what the hell is this? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty fantastic. Whatever it is, it's a good capture. Woo. Mm-hmm. Got some racy stuff showing up there.
Woohoo! Do it again.
Well, no, I don't think
Dang
so.
it.
But anyway, yeah.
We're not going to have a Aussie Ken moment.
Oops. Yeah, that was funny. I remember that. God, I think I have that in an archive somewhere.
Unfortunately, I wasn't here for that. I didn't get to see that.
Oh, my God. It was so hilarious. We have a wonderful friend, Ken. How did his chat name go? Well, I mean, it had to do with his Rottweiler, but
right. Gosh.
Ken Rotman, wasn't it?
Rotman, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he went by the name of Ken Rotman, and a wonderful guy. He's just been a marvelous friend of the show since basically the beginning.
Right, right.
Literally 2016, he's been around. I haven't seen him for quite a while, but
it's been a while. Yep.
How did it work? It was on video though, wasn't it?
I think he
Skyped in, right? Like I Skyped him in.
Or was it? Did he post it in the chat in TFR?
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Huh.
Yeah. He said, "Hey, go look at this," and then he's like, "Oh," and I looked at it. He was like, "Oh, this is the wrong image," and I clicked on it. It was like, "Oh my God!" It was like inappropriate as hell. I think it was some celebrity that was mocked up to look like she was posing.
I think it was Elena, wasn't it?
Was who?
Mrs. Trump. Was it Mrs. Trump?
No, it was before the.
Oh, was that?
Well, no, I guess it could have been. I don't remember, but it was some celebrity, and it was like, oh my God. And I think I had it live.
Yeah, we'll have to look back.
I think I clipped it live on the show. I'm like, so that was so tragic, and he was just all apology. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He was so embarrassed, but he clicked the wrong image.
There's something wrong with my.
Oh no. I know what that is.
Yeah, it's the banner.
It is, and let me click that quick. There we go. Is that better? There you are.
Hey.
Hey.
It's rerun.
So there you go. That's that article, and I think it's a great capture, but I don't think it's necessarily paranormal.
Yeah.
There's just nothing to go on for you to determine. Nothing about that figure looked translucent or ethereal, and it didn't do anything other than being standing in the woods going, hey, what is that? That's a drone. Right. Okay.
Reacting to the drone.
Yeah, I mean, it was it does, I don't know. It's a reach to say it's paranormal. It could be, but there's just not enough to go on for any determination from the video. But cool anyway. We talked about it, so what do you do, huh?
We covered it.
We talked about it.
Now let's move on.
With most of my chops. All right, here we go with the next one, and this is the last one for tonight. I think this is the last one we'll do. Did you get to this day in history?
Like from Britannica, yeah.
Oh, you got it to work? Okay.
Yeah, this
all right. Yep. That looks like it. So
sweet.
Let me finish this article, and we'll get to that. Don will take it away for the last segment of the news. All right, so from unexplained-mysteries.com, there's apparently discovered a new dinosaur.
A new dinosaur?
Yeah, it's just bones or whatever, but not a real one.
That's why
or not a living one. Anyway, this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. New species of pterosaur discovered in Scotland's Isle of Skye.
Wow.
That's cool. They don't look very big, do they? An artist's impression of the new species. Yeah, that's cool. Little diminutive things. Anyway, researchers discussed their recent fossil find and what it could mean for our understanding of these winged reptiles. Well, it means there was more of them.
Right.
I think I got it. Oh, yeah. I think we'll stop there.
Yeah, wow.
That's a lot of article.
They found new.
They found a new dinosaur, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! All right, good. Well done, guys. Keep digging.
Making us look weak. Anyhow.
Anyway.
Isle of Skye is beautiful, says Wizard Moon.
Oh, is it? I've never been.
Where else would you find some flying dinosaurs other than the Isle of Skye?
Kind of fitting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. All right, let me put this link.
Setup.
If any of you are into paleontology or whatever, here you go. There's the link in the chats, both on Twitch and in YouTube, so you can check it out. Makes me twitch. I'm all twitchy.
By the twitching of my thumbs.
All right. Okay, so there it is. That's Don. Take it away for what happened this day in history.
This day in history. Do you want the big news this day in history?
Absolutely, unless you want to end with it. It's up to you.
February 7th, 1964. British invasion launched with Beatles' arrival in the United States.
Ooh, that was a good one.
The musical British invasion began when the Beatles landed in New York City this day in 1964. Ooh. And 2 nights later, as Beatlemania stormed America, their performance on The Ed Sullivan Show was watched by 73 million viewers.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
Also this day in February 7th, 1812, Charles Dickens was born.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
okay.
There you go. Just to let you know, he died June 8th of 1870 at the age of 58.
Okay.
Baseball player Frank Robinson, who was the first black Major League Baseball manager, died at the age of 82. That was in 2019. Gosh, they got a lot of... Oh, hey, guess whose birthday it is?
Don't know.
Chris Rock's.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
okay.
1966. Yay! The super slow clap.
Will Smith slowest of all.
Well, that's what that was. Gotcha. Sorry. That took a while to figure out. Garth Brooks was born in 1962 on this day. And a Canadian basketball player, like we know Canadian basketball players. We don't even know what that thing's called. It's like, it's not the NBA. Let's see here. Haitian President Jean-Claude Duvalier fled his country to France. Sinclair Lewis, an American novelist and social critic who punctured national complacency with his broadly drawn, widely popular satiric novel, and who in 1930 became the first American to win the Nobel Prize for Literature, was born. So that's Sinclair Lewis. Let's see here. Michael Romanov, founder of the Romanov dynasty, became Tsar of Russia. It doesn't give me a year on that, though. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know who that is, so I'm going to skip it. One of the largest earthquakes in U.S. history occurred along the New Madrid Fault in 1812.
Wow.
So there you go. Interesting stuff.
That's
man.
the history, ladies and gentlemen. So, all right. I guess without further ado, let's get back to the rest of the show.
So we can brown chicken, brown cow.
Woo! Hey, Grumpy Owl. News. That was the news. Absolutely. And we are now back with the rest of the show.
Tomorrow's even better.
Maggie said, "Get my cake out your mouth." That's funny. That's funny. Well done, Maggie. That was very clever.
Oh, no.
All right, so we are back at it here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the news. It's always a good time.
Who ate my pie? Who ate my pie?
Yeah. I don't know. Not me.
Karen says,
I'm on
thank
a
you. I'm
diet.
filled with much more knowledge now. I don't know. Is that good or bad?
I hope it's good.
We'll just go with okay.
I'm not sure everything on there is something that you're interested in, but now you know anyway. So
yeah,
that's the objective of the news, is to keep you informed. And that's all I can say. Oh. So we got a lot more things to get to here tonight on the show.
Oh, that's right. Grumpy, you read one of Grumpy Owl's emails on the podcast last week.
Yep.
Was it this week?
This week.
Right.
It's the one that's live now, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a bunch of positive stories, and I share an encounter of my own. I've shared before here on the show, the live show. But
Benevolent Spirits?
Yeah, Benevolent Spirits is the name of the podcast episode.
I can dig up that link real quick.
The link?
I could go right here and get it.
Go to Spotify or go to anywhere, iHeart, wherever you want.
Got it right there.
There you go.
Yep.
Pop it in the chat. Why not?
Pop it in the chat. Pop it in the chat.
All right. So we got a lot more to get to, as you well know. And next up, we're going to dive into an article from Curiosmos.com. And this has to do with the first UFO on the moon that was actually seen in 1668. And the NASA archives have the evidence, apparently. So I'm sure there's no photographs because it was 1668. But
Wow.
that's quite a long time ago.
It is.
And let's get into this. So let me go here and do this. I got to see. Yeah, I forgot to turn that off in all of them. There we go.
Season 5, episode 35. Wow.
Yep, season 5, episode 35 of the Paranormal Portal podcast now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're not already listening to the podcast, it's a very different show than what you're listening to now. This is just our live streams. These are just, fun variety shows that we do. We always love doing them and have a good time participating actively with you guys. But podcasts are usually interviews and stuff with people. But this last one, I just shared some stories that I thought were really uplifting about positive ghostly experiences. And my own experience that I had that was, I thought, positive, as well as Grumpy Owl's email, which actually ended very positively.
Yeah, very nice.
And a really cool ending and a really cool beginning and middle, and except of course, how they felt at the time, which couldn't have been fun. But
right.
At any rate, let's get to this. The first UFO on the moon was seen in 1668, and the NASA archives have the evidence. And this is from Ivan Petricevic, and it was posted March 2nd, 2019, again on Curiosmos.com. And I think that he's like the most prolific writer there, if not the only. He's another one of those machines that just churns out such incredible information. And
you remember Brent Swanser?
Yeah, Brent Swanser. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, nobody researches like Brent Swanser. That guy's a machine, and he's just a great guy as well. He is a group on Facebook. And
Dark League Paranormal.
Dark League Paranormal, yep. So you can always join him and read his articles. They're amazing. But this is the first UFO sighting recorded on the moon's surface took place in 1668 when a colonial preacher by the name of Cotton Mather observed a very strange shape on the moon's surface. I wonder, just with his naked eye, imagine, right? He didn't have like a telescope. Seeing UFOs today may not seem like that much of an occurrence. UFO sightings have become ever popular, and millions worldwide believe we've been and still are being visited by alien civilizations from distant parts of the cosmos. Officially, aliens aren't real, and UFOs are just a figment of our imagination. Or, well, swamp gas reflected off of Venus. I like Uranus better.
Don't keep my anus out your mouth.
Okay, sorry, Don. So, people saw unimaginable things in the sky, and we're gonna just yeah. God, yeah, might take up the whole sky. Whoa!
Boy, it's a full moon tonight.
For example, throughout the Middle Ages, visions of strange things in the sky were immediately attributed to God or divine beings. That's a good point, yeah. The divine. If people saw something they could not explain, they would elevate that something to the divine and heavenly.
Oh, my God.
Eventually, people changed the way they saw the supernatural things. As we moved into the 17th century, people looked more towards science than the supernatural. I don't know if that's probably the truth. I mean, maybe that was more of the official version, but right. I think people have always looked towards the supernatural. In 1608, the refracting telescope was invented, and people were already obsessed with observing the stars, now had the chance to stare through the apparatus that would bring them ever closer to the cosmos. Stars and answers. Astronomers started looking for many answers in the stars, but more astronomers observed the stars, the more mysteries they found. As people observed the stars and the moon, they noticed things that were out of the ordinary. At first, UFO sightings recorded on the moon's surface took place in 1668, when a colonial preacher named Cotton Mather observed a strange shape on the moon's surface. Essentially, this was the first reported UFO sighting. That's pretty interesting. I had no idea it went back that far. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, you see some of the Renaissance works of art and stuff, and they'll have these little saucers and stuff in the background. So obviously people were seeing something throughout those times as well. But yeah, 1668's a long time ago. NASA's archives, Cotton Mather supposedly was looking at the moon through his telescope and spotted a mysterious light flying over the moon's surface. Thanks to NASA archives, the report was recorded in history instead of forgotten like many other things. To access this account, you will of the UFO sighting, visit NASA's chronological catalog of reported lunar events, where you will find that in November of 1668, Cotton Mather was observing the moon through his telescope and observed what seemed like a star point of light hovering and moving on the moon's surface. That's interesting. I wonder if I should put this link as well.
I'm working on that.
Oh, are you?
Well, you could.
I can just do this and get the link up and put it in the... Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had no idea this was out there.
He has his own page in Britannica.
Who does?
Cotton Mather.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, there you go. There's the link to the NASA archives, if any of you are interested in that. And, to each their own, but maybe it's interesting. You will find that, the star point, I already read that. What Cotton Mather saw is impossible for us to know, but many natural explanations could solve the mystery. Atmospheric phenomena are one such explanation. Furthermore, some natural phenomena on Earth could cause astronomers to witness glowing lights that may be interesting as UFOs. I don't know how that would work, though. If you're looking through a telescope, unless it was right in his vicinity, somehow hitting the lens of that of the telescope, but I don't understand. I mean, I assume he was looking while he was in darkness.
Right.
So I don't know how terrestrial events could have given him the impression of, like a dot of light moving on the lunar surface. It's not like people had laser pointers or something,
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, I strongly encourage you to check out Curiosmos as well. There's just thousands of these articles, and many things about Egypt and Egyptology and stuff on there as well, but as well as the UFOs. So I like that one. What do you think, Don?
It's always interesting to hear those old ones like that, and just realizing that that it's been around for so long. That was 17th. That was 15th century.
Yeah,
that was a long frickin' time ago.
Right.
And so hearing of those old stories and where this stuff may have really been recorded for the first times is just, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. I never would have guessed that the oldest recorded UFO report was from 1668. I would never have expected that.
Wow.
I think again, you can look at some of the other events from history, like even the Bible, talking about some of these angels' appearances, and the angels don't look like these people with wings and glowing. They look like almost these crazy geometric shapes with strange lights and glow and sometimes eyes all over it, or
Right.
And you got to think, well, I don't know what an angel looks like, and I don't know what an angel looks like when it appears, but it does sound more UFO-y to me.
Right. Yeah.
Because I always guess if an angel was going to show itself, it would probably pick a familiar face,
Right.
or a familiar shape, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, even if they don't really look like that, would they want to just shock the hell out of somebody?
Well, like showing up like little grays or something.
Yeah.
That'd shock the hell out of me. And if it started talking, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Just don't come near me.
Just stay away. And I don't need any probing.
Wait, you talking about Uranus again?
No, I'm talking about yours this time.
Why is it always mine?
Well,
because I brought it up, I guess.
Yeah, it's yours.
Fine.
It's all you, Don. But there you go. That's a Curiosmos article. I think it's a pretty good one.
And that's what she said.
That's what she said. She said it was Curiosmos over.
No, she said it was all you, Don.
Oh,
Cool, okay.
Yeah.
Dang it. I must have been asleep again.
Oh, God. You poor soul. Yeah, poor soul. All right, we're at about 7:54, so we're about at the hour mark.
So Cotton Mather was also indirectly responsible for some roles in the Salem witch trials as well.
Oh, really?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, well, I imagine that was about the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yep, 16.
I'd like to get over to Salem sometime. I'd like to get to the East Coast, actually. I've really only been to New York once, and that was when I was 18. But I had a great time. I went with my cousin Paul and his family, and we had a blast.
Is Cousin Paul the one that cut his foot on the way down to the
Yes, actually,
basement?
he is.
Yeah.
He is. He's absolutely the one that was in my old haunted house, and we had been up and down the stairs dozens of times, at least dozens and dozens of times, because barefoot, because we were basically doing a lot of laundry and stuff, and he was staying with me for a week or two, and so, we were just kind of roughhousing, like wrestling and stuff, and it probably got a little more aggressive than it should have and stuff. But I think the ghost was protective of me, because
Really? Yeah.
the next time he went down the stairs to go get his laundry, he stepped down, and embedded in the stair was one of those break-off razor blades. You get the ones that kind of slide out, and you break one off and you slide it up, and it's the next one. One of those diamond-shaped things was stabbed into the top step, and he stepped down, and I heard, whoa, and in a thump. Well, I went down there. He's like, man, I got something embedded in my foot. And I was like, whoa. And I had to actually pull it out of his foot. It was so much it hit the bone. It actually went into his calcaneus heel bone. And I had to pull it out. And he was like, dude, we've been up and down these stairs all day. I'm like, yeah, that's freaky as hell. Yeah. And we both kind of at the same time just went, oh, wow. It was just one of the many events in that house. But I think it was protective of me, because it didn't like the roughhousing, when we were wrestling around and just, being young guys,
Right.
But it was freaky. I mean, that thing was in his foot. He stepped down full weight, and it hit the bone. And I literally had to pull it out of his foot. Yeah, and it bled. But
I bet it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably good that it did, because that helps clean it out. But
it was right in the middle of the stair, too, which made no sense. It was like, we'd been up and down there just dozens and dozens of times. I knew I had one of those knives somewhere, but it was like in my tool cupboard in the basement.
It was in the basement on your stairs, apparently.
Well,
or at least one blade was.
Yeah, it's like one blade appeared there. It's like, God, that was freaky.
Chris says, come visit Bucks County, PA. Do you think we'll ever go near Bucks County?
Oh, yeah, we'll have to go over and visit Eric and the team.
That's funny. I'm wearing Eric's shirt today.
Yeah. Eric Mintel Investigates, ladies and gentlemen. He's been a long-time friend of the show, too. He's a great guy.
EMI.
Eric. Good guy and very, 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 very incredibly talented pianist.
I'm the gun show.
I said pianist.
Right.
Sorry.
Said something about Uranus.
No, that didn't even say anything about that. That's you bringing up that again, Don. Then you wonder why it's all about you.
It's all about McRibs, baby.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Can I have a barbecued O-ring special, please?
Oh, God. An O-ring. Can I have a meat donut? We're referring to, anal cores taken out of cow mutilations. It's like, what are they doing with those? That's my big mystery. It's like, why there? Why that part? What are they collecting them? They making like bracelets, or what's that?
For some weird shit.
Will you quit cussing, dude?
I didn't.
It's the second time on this show tonight.
No, it isn't.
Isn't it? I thought you said
No.
it. I thought you threw out a soft Effenheimer earlier.
Not that I remember, at least.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anyway.
Well, so fine. Be that way.
Don, uncensored long beard.
Hey, Roman. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Roman. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in, as always.
Yes.
Roman Daniels and Jaron are the two creators and hosts of Supernatural Station podcast. You got to check them out. Yep. Great guys. Good guys. They are. We met them in Vernal and have become fast friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if we fastly became friends quickly. I mean, we just like them. Right. They're nice guys. So check them out. Support what they're doing too. I guess we can dive into some cryptids. What do you say, Don?
Certainly.
Why, certainly.
Certainly.
I know. Look at the coils. All right, here we go. Let me see where the hell I am. There it is. We're going to start at, obviously, Sasquatch Chronicles. Because that's our buddy Wes's site, and it's an incredible blog, as well as, his podcast is awesome, but his blog is equally, at least, amazing. I mean, he does a great job keeping it updated. Don, he actually shared our podcast episode this last time.
Which one?
The Benevolent Spirits.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
Yeah, it's nice to see him actually interacting again. He's been so busy playing with his friend Tony.
Oh, don't be jelly. Don't be jelly, Don. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so check out Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and special thanks to Wes for letting us peruse it for content for the show. Makes my life easier. But the first one up is a listener email he received. Actually, there's only one tonight. It's a listener email he received on February 5th. The creature was looking at me. It says, a listener writes, I was 12 years old. Year was 1978, and I lived in Enumclaw.
Enumclaw.
Enumclaw?
Enumclaw. E-N-U-M. Enumclaw.
Are you familiar with that place?
Yeah, it's a Seattle suburb.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Very familiar.
Okay. Well, there you go. Enumclaw. And we always were going down to logging roads past the what is this one, Don? How do you say that one?
Warehouser.
Warehouser?
Warehouser. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it's the Warehouser Mill?
Yeah.
You know where that is, too?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Off of Highway 410. I don't know.
Yep,
this is
sure
all
enough.
new to me. Those are new words. I'm always real cautious when I hit new words.
Just ask Don for Pacific Northwest pronunciations.
Yeah, exactly. My mom took us out in the woods to collect pine cones for seeds, camping, fishing, hiking, and mushroom hunting. One weekend, my mom, sister, and I were mushroom hunting. I was looking down, and it occurred to me how quiet the forest had become. And that was strange to me, and I looked up. I'd say 50 to 60 feet in front of me was this creature standing by a medium-sized tree, looking at me. Its right hand was holding onto the tree, so its arm was outstretched. I couldn't comprehend what kind of animal it was, and I have no doubt of what I saw. Very tall, big, dark reddish-brown hair. I wasn't scared. I just couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. We just looked at each other, and I don't remember any face structure or smaller details. I just know right in front of me there was this tall creature this tall creature was. I didn't think it was a human. Way too much long hair all over its body. I called my mom and turned my head to find her and turned my head back to see it, and it was gone. I went and found my mom and sister and told them what I saw. Well, neither of them made fun of me or anything. Just said, well, we don't know what you saw, and we carried on looking for chanterelles. All those are awesome. I love those things.
I don't think they were just eating chanterelles at that point either.
I would go into the woods still after that, but always stayed by someone.
Yeah.
That's a kind of, what do you do with a situation like that? It's neat that they weren't scared. I think that's really cool. But would you be? I think I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe this is the power of youth because he was only 12.
True enough.
He's just like, oh, what's that?
Overactive imagination. Yeah,
Right.
Definitely.
Now, he said it was very big, but it was just hanging onto that tree, just like,
Right.
Hey, here I am.
So Roman Daniel says, sometimes I wonder why people have a hard time comprehending what they're seeing when they are staring at a Squatch. Well, it's good. People report that, that they don't really see the Squatch. It's like kind of this blur figure. And that's why we get blurry photos. Why did a song just go through my head?
I have no idea. I have no idea what goes on in there, Don.
I have very little idea either. But because there was a song called Blurry Photos or Blurry Pictures.
Oh, probably.
I think I can't remember.
Okay.
But also, people are in such a state of disbelief that they only see a bear.
Oh, right.
And depending on the condition of what's going on, the lighting, the type of forest they're in, PNW, Enumclaw, and Warehouser, there were trees way back then. That was 1978.
Sure.
Nowadays, it's all paved and road and industrial area and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot different now, though. So there you go.
Yeah, and the other thing is this kid was 12 years old, so maybe this wasn't even his vocabulary in 1978.
Right.
Back then there wasn't a whole lot of reporting going on. I suppose in the Pacific Northwest, maybe. You heard about Sasquatch growing up, didn't you?
He was 12 in 78. 78, yeah. I was 7 in 78. So he was a few years older than I am.
Right.
And even I remember, playing at the foot of Beacon Hill and running up and down the hill and everybody talking about, oh yeah, Bigfoot's gonna get you, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
the PNG was around 14 years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was, and I'm sure it was big news. So basically, what I'm asking is, it wasn't uncommon to hear people talk about Bigfoot up there. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So he maybe had an idea of what it was, but maybe it was just, it's different when something moves from a concept into hey, there it is right in front of me.
Yeah, so you don't really know what you're looking at, especially back then, because we were just hearing, really hearing about it because of Patterson-Gimlin.
Yeah.
But Rachel brings up a good point, too. She says, Robin, with my first ghost sighting, I had a short episode of vertigo. So, yeah, I mean, and plus they talk about infrasound.
Yeah.
What if he was emitting infrasound and you kind of...
Oh, sure. Just went into that altered state.
Yeah, just an altered state,
Sure.
So, yeah. No bears in Australia. Well, that's because they taste good.
Roman said, I'm just going to say it. It was a bear.
It was a bear. It's a bear.
It's always a bear. Everything's a bear. If it's big and hairy, it's got to be a bear.
It's just grinning and bearing.
And grin and bear it. And there you go. So that's the one takeaway from Sasquatch Chronicles tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, special thanks to Wes. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And we're going to go to the next one, not that one. Where are we going next? Let me go here while I sort it out. I got to pull up the right one. I think it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Oh, no, it is. Where am I? Am I here? Nope.
Oh, my gosh.
Here. I'm here. There we go. We're going to go to another Sasquatch story, but from a different site. And this is, of course, Phantoms and Monsters.
Mr. Lon.
Mr. Lon Strickler, who is always busy posting articles, and he shares them also on our Paranormal Portal fans page, Paranormal Portal fans page. So you can always stop in there and see what Lon's posting lately. It's just a fantastic site. And literally, if you're interested in any of this stuff, Sasquatch Chronicles is a great site. But Lon's site is really fantastic as well. Lon has several, I don't know how many pages of
Oh, gosh.
I mean, literally, it's just chock full of these stories. And now, granted, not all of them have reached out to him directly. He sometimes forwarded stories that he then transcribes for his site and stuff. But it's just a great collection of amazing information. Lon does a hell of a job as well. And Lon also has his published works listed on his site, as well as links to his Phantoms and Monsters Radio, his podcast, which is also a YouTube channel. So definitely visit both and, support Lon. I think his show is really interesting because he's oftentimes breaking down these articles as well. And it gives a lot of, his inside information of it and, what he knows of the experience and then talks about the phenomena as well. So
Right,
Lon does a great job.
Goes through a lot of it, yep.
Yep. So
Hey, Raw's here.
who is
Raw Castaldo.
Mr. Ra Castaldo?
Hey.
Hey, it's our fellow TFR brethren,
you
Mr.
go.
Ra. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, man. All right, so let's get to Phantoms and Monsters, the pulse of the paranormal, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from Saturday, February 3rd, and this article is Pennsylvania Sasquatch. Witness describes Glimmer Man and mind speak abilities. That's interesting. So the Glimmer Man, if you're not familiar with it, is basically the predator mode. When people are seeing these transparent, I would say almost invisible, but people can usually make out a shape with the distortions, and people often compare it to the Predator movies when the Predator is invisible, and yet he moves around and the background warps, and you can see this outline of a bipedal humanoid type figure. So that's what people are experiencing with the Glimmer Man phenomenon. And some people believe it's Sasquatch. Some people think it might be something else entirely, some trans-dimensional thing going on. It's hard to know. But let's read this story and find out what's going on here. A Beaver County, Pennsylvania resident had 3 separate sightings/encounters with Sasquatch. On each occasion, the Sasquatch demonstrated mind speak skills, once using its cloaking talents. My encounter was with what I believe to have been a young female, but not adolescent, Sasquatch. So, meaning older than adolescent or younger? I don't know which way that's going. It wasn't close enough for fine details, but I had the overall sense that it was female. On August 16th, 2021, I was fishing at the group camping area lake, western side of Route 18 in Raccoon Creek State Park, Beaver County. Jesus.
Well, no, just Raccoon Creek in Beaver County.
Oh, okay.
Of
course that's what you were thinking.
Raccoon Creek in Beaver County.
Looking at the lake on the map, you can clearly see that one side has a grassy area near the dam spillway, and the other side has a dam breastwork. I don't even know what that means. What's a dam breastwork? They work just fine. And forested shoreline. I was standing along the shore in the grassy area fishing towards the area in front of the spillway lip. I had a fairly good view of the creek as it ran away from the dam. It was mostly sunny and warm with a mild breeze and gusts up to 10-ish miles per hour. I was enjoying the fishing and just being outdoors. There are several trails in the immediate area, but I hadn't seen another human for at least an hour, a half hour. Didn't he say where it was running away? He kind of just jumps that in there. Oh, maybe he's talking about the flow of water. Okay. Yeah. I thought he was talking about the Bigfoot there. I'm like, wait, what? All right. I saw a dark brown flash off to my left. And I thought I was about to see my first western Pennsylvania black bear, but I did not. What I did see was a large bipedal being covered in medium dark brown hair, mid-stride, crossing the creek downstream about 50 yards from me. It was frozen in place and staring right at me, with bright golden yellow eyes. It slowly stood straight up and turned to face me. The Sasquatch was between 7 and 8 feet tall and built like a muscular basketball player. The really crazy part was that it camouflaged itself like the Predator alien from the movies. But I could still see it because its bright glowing gold-colored eyes were locked onto mine. And then I heard in my mind a calm, peaceful voice say, "You did not see." 10 seconds later,
Really?
It repeated the phrase. Wow.
How am I supposed to forget if you just keep telling me I didn't see it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Trying to hypnotize it. Look at my eyes.
Talk.
You did not see.
You did not see me.
10 more seconds, and I heard the phrase a third time. After about 10 more seconds, I took a large step to the side, or it took a large step to the side, and disappeared into the underbrush along the creek. At that point, my mouth finally uttered the words, "You know I saw you." From beginning to end, the encounter lasted about 45 seconds.
Well, it took him 30 seconds to say you did not see, so, you know.
You know I saw you. That's brilliant.
You know I saw you. Stop it.
I stood statue still for at least 5 minutes, trying to figure out what I should do. I was totally calm and didn't feel any fear. In fact, I was surprised that I wasn't afraid, so I decided to keep fishing.
Brave man.
In July 2022, or around 8:30 p.m., I was taking the trash out to the dumpster. Near the dumpster is a small grassy yard with a park bench beneath two 35 to 40 foot tall trees. When I was about 50 feet away from the dumpster, something moved in the grassy area like it wanted me to notice it. When I looked up, I saw a very large bipedal being walking behind one of the trees, but it didn't come out on the other side. There was still plenty enough daylight left that I would have clearly seen it as it passed behind the tree. Unlike the calm Raccoon Creek encounter, this time all my nerves were on edge, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up when the Sasquatch didn't reappear. Yeah, because now you're home.
Right.
I mean, it's a little different when you're, well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's like it followed you home, though. That's a lot creepier.
Right.
My mind went blank because I did not recall putting the trash in the dumpster. Just that I was back inside my apartment, home, and didn't have the trash bag with me.
Yeah.
The next day, I went back to the tree with my cell phone camera at the ready and a tape measure, and I was certain I would find footprints. Sadly, I didn't see a single thing. I did, though, measure the lowest branches to get an idea of how tall the Sasquatch was. The lowest branches were still 8 feet off the ground and were at shoulder height of the Sasquatch.
So you're talking like 10, 11 foot.
Jeez, yeah. Unlike my previous encounter, this Sasquatch was very muscular. Oh, so it was a different one. Like,
right.
Who saw you? Who?
Oh, yeah, it was Daddy coming to find out who was defiling the little girl.
Yeah. Visually.
Whatever.
Just visually.
Coveting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fairly certain that it was watching me on another trash run, and it was during the 2022-23 winter season. I took the trash out at around 7 p.m., quite dark this time of year, and I was standing on a large branch in the giant sycamore tree about 30 feet beyond the small yard by the dumpster. I couldn't see it, but I could feel something telling me to look up into that particular tree. I could feel pressure on my brain, like something was drawing my attention to it. I told the tree, "I can't run from you, so I hope you have a good night." spinal cord injury from breaking my neck back in the 1900s.
What? The what?
1900s, during the previous century, Don. Upon saying
Like
that,
1905.
yeah, upon saying that, the pressure in my brain went away. Anyway, there you have it. I did my best to give as much detail as I could remember.
Now, remember, Rome just said, I don't know how people can't look at a Sasquatch and not see what they're seeing. This guy had a momentary lapse of time. He was taking the trash out, and then he's back in his apartment.
Yeah. So he obviously must have been zapped something.
Yeah, something.
I mean, it went behind the tree, and then it just wasn't there. Didn't come out. And that was that encounter. But he said he felt very nervous. He didn't sound as nervous on the last one because it was like, hey, I can't run away, so I hope you're good.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think here's the thing with Sasquatch. I'm pretty convinced about. I think they can project fear into us.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Because so many stories have started out with, we're out in the woods camping, having a great time, and suddenly we felt absolutely
The dread.
terrified.
Yeah.
Like all of us or one person or whatever, just suddenly that hits.
Right.
And I think they can do that. They can do that, project. I don't know if it's a mental thing or if they can just, I don't know, maybe a pheromone thing.
Right. Oh,
where,
yeah, pheromones, yeah.
Where you just smell it and you're like, oh, God,
Those
oh,
would
no.
be pheromones, though.
Fear, yeah. Well, it's almost like a genetic memory. I think our ancestors probably battled with these things through, time establishing who was going to get what. And, somehow they didn't do as well. I don't know why, because they seem to have every advantage. But at any rate, I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But cool story. Very cool story. I really like that one. You did not see. Or what did it say again? That was hilarious.
Did not see.
Yeah. I'm trying to read that part again.
You
did not see, like over and over.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah. I saw you.
I saw you. I ain't that dumb.
Yeah, and that's probably why Daddy showed up later going,
Your mind tricks don't work on me, Jedi.
What, do you think you're some kind of Jedi or something? Your mind tricks will not work on me. Only money.
Only money.
Guado. What was his name? Guado?
Watto.
Yeah. Yep. You think you're some kind of Jedi? I'm Dadarian. Mind tricks do not work on me. Yeah, I love that line. That guy was hilarious. He's such a snake. All right. But anyway, good story. Good story. Let's go to the next one and see what this story is from Phantoms and Monsters. Here you go. Appalachia, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen.
Appalachia, Tennessee.
This one goes out to my cousin Paul, who's listening. All right. Here you go. phantomsandmonsters.com. All right. Let's pull it up on screen. Traveling friends experience unexplained activity in Appalachian, Tennessee. Here you go. Traveling friends. Well, let's see what these traveling friends did.
Fraggles?
God. Oh, my God. Fraggles.
Uncle Traveling Matt's here.
3 friends are traveling through the southeast U.S. And they decide to stay at one of their friends' acquaintances' place in the Smoky Mountains. That's familiar to me. I've been there. That's when things start getting weird. I've lived in Appalachia for all but 4 years of my life, and I'm almost 22. And I've never experienced any of the creepy things people say about the Appalachian Mountains until the story I'm about to tell you. So towards the end of last year, 2023, 2 of my friends and I had a sort of simultaneous crisis, which eventually led us to get rid of almost all of our belongings, quitting our jobs, leaving our apartments, and living out of our cars and traveling around the southeast U.S. Well, on our first night on our big trip, we went to stay with a friend of one of my traveling mates, and she lived in Tennessee in the Appalachian Mountains, the Smoky Mountains specifically, and she lived off a back road in the middle of the woods. The first night we were there, she had told us that there were strange occurrences on the property. The house was haunted, and there was something in the woods. She had told us that whatever's in the woods likes to hang out around her shed. She said that one night she was walking up to her porch when she got the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Becoming fed up with whatever it was, she screamed something along the lines of, "Go away!" into the woods, only for something to scream right back at her.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah, not good. She claimed to have seen it one night from her kitchen window, and she said it was peeking around the shed staring at her. It wasn't an animal, but it wasn't a human either. Out of curiosity, I asked her to describe whatever the creature she saw in more detail, but she refused. I, being the skeptic that I am, basically disregarded everything she said and forgot about it.
Oops.
Now, because it was our first night on the trip, and it was so fun and new to us, we wanted to sleep in our cars. Why? All right. Which were parked right in front of the shed.
They're fart boxes.
Oh, dear God.
What?
All right. I mentioned, they're right in front of the shed I mentioned earlier. Yes, that shed. We hadn't yet made window covers, so we were sleeping in 3 SUVs with uncovered windows completely surrounding us. But I had no issue with this. I thought the worst that could have happened was that I'd wake up with a bear staring at me, so I went to bed peacefully and woke up in the middle of the night, really needing to urinate. Well, I got half dressed and put on my shoes, left the car, walked out to the edge of the woods and did my business.
Uh-oh.
Got back in the car and went to sleep. No uneasy feelings, no feeling of being watched, nothing.
Peaceful.
The next night, I once again woke up, really needing to relieve myself, so just like I did the night before, I sat up in bed, put on my pants, got my shoes ready, and reached for the door handle. But I couldn't do it. It was like every hair on my body stood on end. And I got this overwhelming feeling of dread and foreboding. Now, I had a makeshift bed in the back of my SUV, on top of all the back seats that I flipped down. So I'm sitting there in my bed looking around through all the uncovered windows, and I can't see anything outside except for some faint outlines of the trees and the glints off my travel mates' cars. I neither saw nor heard anything that should be putting me on edge. Well, I reached for the door handle again, but I once again got that terrible feeling. I continued to look around, tried to reach for the door, and withdrew my hand. I finally gave up and said, screw it, and just went into an empty water bottle. God, that's some skill. The next morning, I got up and was talking to my travel mates, and one of them mentioned waking up in the middle of the night out of nowhere and experiencing an overwhelming feeling of being watched.
Wow.
She sat up in her makeshift bed and looked all around only to see nothing. I can't lie, when she said that, I got a bit of a knot in my stomach. And I asked her, what time was it when that happened? And she estimated that it was around the same time I woke up at around 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
I then told both of them about my experience, and we were all a little freaked out by it. We were then when we were headed out to our cars, the following night, we noticed that all of the homeowners' many outdoor cats were sitting on the front porch, which we hadn't seen the last 2 nights. Previously, they would all be scattered around the property, if they were even in sight, and we thought it was weird. But we didn't think much of it. We all climbed into our cars and said our goodnights on our walkie-talkies, and it was pretty warm night, muggy night for October, so we all had our battery-powered fans running. One of my friends frustratedly reported that her walkie-talkie was dying. Then my other friend reported that their fan had died. Then my walkie-talkie started dying. And it continued until, in 5 minutes, all of our electronic camping gear, walkies, flashlights, and fans, had all died.
Wow.
Finding this incredibly creepy, we all decided that we should just sleep in the house to be better safe than sorry. When we were gathering up our things to move inside, when I began to hear what sounded like something large walking through the leaves in the woods. I kept stopping what I was doing and looking toward my friends who were standing right by the woods. They seemed unbothered every time, so I would just continue what I was doing. And that was when I heard a louder noise coming from the woods and finally decided to walk over to my friends. Turns out, one of them was standing watch while the other one gathered the rest of her things. Me and my friend stood there watching my other friend's back, and it kept sounding like whatever was in the woods kept getting closer to us.
Bum, bum.
Soon enough, my friend had gathered all of her things, and we calmly but quickly went into the house.
Nice.
From what I can remember, we slept in the house the following night as well. But the night after that, one of my friends borrowed some sage from the homeowner and saged all along the wood line and around our vehicles before we got ready for bed. We slept perfectly fine for that night, and every night after that. No more weird feelings, noises, nothing. Of course, we were pretty much perpetually on edge from then on. But it was never quite the same feeling of dread and foreboding that I had felt before. To be honest, I don't know what to make of it all. I know I didn't see anything, but the feeling I got was unlike anything I had ever experienced. That was the first and only time in my life where I've gotten that feeling, especially just out of nowhere. I've told the story a few times now, and I've had people tell me it was just a bear. It's always just a bear. But I don't think a bear would give me that sort of instinctual feeling of danger when I can't even hear or see it. And I'm fully aware that I may be biased now, but I've lent a bit more credibility to the homeowners' stories after my experience.
No doubt.
For those of you that are curious, no, we are not still on the trip. Unfortunately, the whole thing went downhill after a couple of months, and we're now integrating back into society. We are, however, all still friends, and no, we did not experience anything like this again, despite staying all over the campgrounds, at several campgrounds in the middle of the woods in other parts of the southeast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how, saging the wood line.
Actually seemed to have effect. Yeah.
So I wonder if it was more of a placebo effect for them, thinking, we'll sage, and sage is cleansing. So,
yeah.
maybe they were just left with a lingering, maybe they were just left with a lingering feeling from the experience while they were in the cars. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, saging is again, we've said it many times on the show, but it's more for just flatlining energy rather. Right. I mean, it doesn't really purge.
It just
things.
calms it.
Actually, who was it? Somebody put in the Discord. It was a Native American guy on a video talking about sage, and I agree completely with it. That in a lot of our paranormal world, people say better sage your space, get rid of those things. Well, sage really isn't really a purging thing. It's just flatlines. It's just kind of a reset. And it's very powerful. Don't get me wrong, and it does. It has a lot of benefits, but you got to use something else.
Right. Yeah,
cedar, frankincense, something like that is meant to push entities out.
Yeah, because I have other uses for sage, like barbecue.
Oh,
but,
sure.
Were they out there waving around going, we're going to barbecue you, and this is what we're going to use. That's why they went away. They're like,
better go away. Don's firing up the grill.
God, dang it, he's got that dry rub going again. He's putting sage in it this time.
Oof. He's getting serious.
He's getting sagious.
Sagious. Yeah, so that's a good article. Is it a really powerful experience? No, but it's still, I mean, it's there's a lot to be said for that fear.
Right.
When that fear sets in, that is, I mean, you know it through your soul. It just hits. And, when people get that, something's there. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Just that unusual. And the person experienced it every time they reach for that handle to get out. Like it was a guardian angel or a spirit guide going, no, this is not a good time. Stay put.
Yeah.
Pee in the bottle.
Pee in the bottle, yes.
Pee in the bottle or pinch it off. You're not going out there. And, good thing they didn't. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think you really got to trust your gut with all of this stuff. Yeah. If something doesn't feel right, pay attention. We have these senses, whether we're familiar with them or not. If you're in a situation like that and you get that urge, listen. Don't push through it. Right. Don't push through it unless you have no other choice. I mean, if you have no other choice, yeah, I mean, that's...
Do what you got to do, but pay heed to the warning signs.
Yeah, I mean, because they're happening for a reason. And it could be, I believe everybody has psychic awareness. And I think most of us would agree to that. Like we all have a sixth sense, whether we're familiar with it or not. But when it pokes through like that, pay attention. Don't ignore it, because you might be missing some an important sign that you're going to be in trouble, And I think it's not necessarily always paranormal stuff. I mean, if you're just in a place and suddenly you don't feel good about it, get the hell out of there, because something is telling you this is not a good place for you. You might have somebody watching you and trying to figure out how to steal your wallet or your purse or something. I mean, something is warning you. So pay attention.
Yup.
We got them guts for a reason. So that's my take on it. Would you agree, Don?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
That is the official take of the Paranormal Portal, ladies and gentlemen.
Bum, bum.
At least tonight.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow would be. Who knows?
Well, you know, I think that's been an ongoing opinion that we both share, though. You know, you got to pay attention to these things.
Yep.
Here's another cryptid report from phantomsandmonsters.com. How are we doing for time?
Is that Adam? Because that's not spelled weirdly. So that must be Adam's here too.
What? Oh. What? Oh, are they both here?
Yeah,
Pesky
they might be.
pickpockets.
Yeah, they might be both here.
All right. Good to see you guys. Blue Line Bigfoot, ladies and gentlemen. Those are good friends from New York State.
Into how is this?
They are
Into his house. Into his house.
I'm just not that hip.
His
I don't
house.
know. Jaron's in here too. When did Jaron come in? Good to see
Jaron
you.
came in shortly after Roman.
How about we do shout outs quick, Don?
Shout outs. What is our people speaking so I can actually shout them out?
Yeah, if you want to be shouted out and said hello to, then by all means.
Hello.
Type something in the chat
Type
quickly.
something in the chat. Hurry up.
Just
because
a
I'm gonna
hello.
I'm going to start with Barbara Mora.
Yeah.
How you doing, Barb? Aussie Tiger. Yes. Blue Line Bigfoot. That's probably Jake, but I think
Lucky Legs. Yeah, that's Jake.
James Fedeke, Grumpy Owl. Let's see. Karen's here. Jaren's here. Maggie M10. Rachel gets it right. Roman is here. SoCal Squatcher, Wizard Moon, and Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How are you? All right. Well, going once, going twice. I think shout outs are done.
Shout outs is done.
Hey, Mom wasn't here. I didn't see Mom today.
Mom wasn't here?
No, I haven't seen Mom.
No, Mom's been listening. She's
Did I say Karen? Did I say Karen? Hi, Karen.
Karen Alberding is here. Yeah. I always got called Karen. Glad you said Karen and Jaron.
Jesse Garcia. Yeah.
No, we got a Karen too, believe it or not. We got a Jaron and a Karen.
A Jaron and a Karen. They're both good people. They were both at and Barbara too was at Vernal with us this last year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We actually,
Hi, Ruthie.
Hi, Ruthie. Good and Cool Hand. He's here. Did you say Cool Hand already?
Nope.
Okay. Ruthie's here. She's late, but here.
Phenomicon.
Hello, Ruthie. And yeah.
Hey, are you guys going to Phenomicon again this year?
Yeah. Yeah. Barbara too.
Yeah. Everybody. Is
Yep.
anybody going?
Barbara says she is. Yep.
Oh, good.
Did you do the vendor thing, Barbara?
It's standing right there.
Right around us. Yeah. Right around us. Yep. Right around me, I guess. Jaron says, "Yeah, I'm down if you guys
Yeah,
are."
we just started our paperwork, so yeah. we're
Yep,
planning
definitely
to be there.
should, and everyone should come. Yeah, if you guys are able to.
Ooh, Roman, are you having a kid?
What?
Wow.
Did he say that?
He says, but I'll be having a young baby.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can go to Vernal, Utah. I think it's in September.
September, yeah.
Yep, and it's a great event. You can meet
God, it's a freaking week long.
the cast from the
Expedition.
Expedition Bigfoot. I don't know if all of them are going to be there again. I imagine they will.
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker Ranch is there, as well as like Dave Schrader was there last year, and detective psychic paranormal.
Greg Lawson.
Greg Lawson. Thank you. I lost the name.
I'm the name guy.
I'm not the name guy, unfortunately. So I should do the show and just say, and then we met
Greg Lawson.
at Vernal as well, and it sounds like it's like a bad dubbing.
Right. Yeah. Rome's got a little girl coming sometime mid-May.
Convince Wes to come back.
Yeah. That's gonna be a rough one though.
Yeah, Wes he did a lot of conferences back in the day, so he doesn't go to a lot of them anymore. Sometimes he shows up, but yeah, if we can talk him into it, that'd be wonderful. It'd be neat to hang out with him again.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a lot of fun. We just had a lot of fun.
I was kind of loud that night, and the next night.
Every night. Don, you were fun though. We had a lot of fun. We had a good time, didn't we?
We did.
And we had a good time last year hanging out with, we went to dinner with Roman and Jaron, and then went and investigated at their property, the family property over in the Uinta Basin near Skinwalker Ranch.
Just was it we were west of the ranch? I don't remember.
I don't know. I was so
Geographically
directionally confused by the time we got there. I'm like, I don't know where we are, but this is really cool.
That's right. Jaron's an uncle. Yes, he's going to be
Uncle
a double
Jaron.
uncle now. Uncle Jaron.
Uncle Jaron. Yep, absolutely. So
They call you Unky.
and Blue Line Bigfoot says yes.
Nice.
Don Long Don Beard.
Yeah, that's our bud.
That's right. Yeah, Blue Line Bigfoot is also a research team.
So you remember we were talking earlier about always duplicated, never. What is it? Well, anyhow, we were talking about people who want to be Don.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's one of
He
them.
pulled it off really
He
well,
did
though.
really well,
He did a
yes.
hell of a good Don Longbeard.
Yeah, that was that Carrie's
Or
show
Long
that
Don
he
Beard.
did that on, or was it?
That's where they showed it. But
yeah.
But that's on
was
it's on their
great.
channel somewhere. Blue Line Bigfoot on YouTube. Check it out,
It was
ladies
like
and gentlemen.
Christmas
20 maybe.
20, 21, 20 or 21, yeah.
Maybe it was 19 because I think maybe it was even.
No, it wasn't. It was
We were
Halloween.
upstairs. Oh, it was.
It was Halloween
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
they were dressed up.
But I think we were upstairs, weren't we? I remember when the studio used to be upstairs.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. So that would have been like 18 maybe.
And that hot little room up there.
Well, I was there.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, good times. So yeah, I mean, if that's the conference we're definitely going to this year, where else are we going? Maybe Medellin Falls.
Medellin Falls in April is going to have Flash of Beauty 2.
Oh, right.
And then Marie Dumont is going to be in Medellin Falls as well.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we've got to get tickets for that. So
yeah, we'll have to get on that.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that, and we'll if you can be in Medellin Falls, Washington State. We just love an opportunity to meet as many as you as possible. And I realize it's a big trip, but I'm telling you that if you're gonna actually make a trip to go because of a conference, that the Vernal one really would be worth your time.
Yeah.
It's really such a well done event.
Book it now.
And the speakers are incredible.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
It would be a great time, and it'd be really cool to meet as many as possible.
Right.
So check it out. Right. Got another story here, and then gosh, it's already 8:36. Wow. Where does the time go, Don?
It flies right out the window.
It seems to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so this is a Sasquatch story from phantomsandmonsters.com, and this is from February 5th. Sasquatch throws log into campsite in Colville National Forest, Washington.
Yeah, that's just
right
down the
where
road, too.
Medellin Falls is, in that area, right?
Yes, going that way.
Yep. So that's not far away, folks, from where we are right now. Sasquatch throws log. A couple and their dog are camping in the Colville National Forest, Washington. For hours, various sounds are getting nearer to the campsite. Then a large log is thrown and it hits the vehicle.
Hits the vehicle.
Oof. I was off to do some winter camping. It was late February 2009, I believe, and there was nobody around to be seen. Yeah, not a lot of people do the winter camping, although more up here than most places I've ever been. We get there and started setting up camp, and this was around 1 p.m. I heard what we assumed was an elk bugle off in the distance, so I cracked some huge rock to semi-replicate gunshots to basically let the wildlife know that I was there, and then continued to settle in. Over the next few hours, the bugle sound got closer and closer, and at first my dog was running free, not a care in the world. My dog had treed mountain lions and run off bears. He was fearless. The sounds got closer and closer and got to the point where it sounded like 20 yards away or so. The best I could guess, I would call every 30 to 45 minutes at first. My dog stopped running like he was and started circling only the immediate campsite. After a couple of hours, it started to sound like a multi-pitched whistle, almost like a wooded train whistle is the best way I can describe it. By about 6:30 p.m., it would call, and about 15 minutes later, there would be a reply from about the equal distance in the opposite side of us.
Oh, they're right in between them.
Oh, no, they're in a crossfire.
Yep.
And it went on for a while, back and forth. By 11 p.m., there were at least 5 different calls around our camp. All similar sounding, but distinctly different and unique. And that was when we started to record audio. Lost the recording over the years. Oh, no. At this point, my dog was acting a bit skittish and wouldn't go more than maybe 15 feet away from the truck, and with its tail kind of tucked, which was very out of character for him. I started to feel a bit unsettled, and around midnight, I started my truck and started loading my stuff because I had a deep gut feeling something was about to happen. I couldn't shake it, so I got the dog and girlfriend in the truck while I was packing. Out of nowhere, this loud crunching sound, and then through the air, a log came flying from the direction of one of the whistles that I had been hearing. It was a big log, like 8 to 10 inches in diameter and maybe 6 feet long, way too big for a human to throw. The way this thing flew, it smashed the back window of my 4Runner and dented the side panel around the window pretty bad. It had extreme force. Needless to say, I was quickly in the driver's seat and got out of there and drove 2 hours home nonstop. I was terrified. I left half my supplies in the camp and never looked back. Mm-hmm. I still haven't returned to this day. This took place at Sullivan Lake. Dude, that's where I did the investigation with Extreme Expeditions Northwest,
Really?
LLC.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I slept in my car and froze trying to use a sweatpants for a blanket.
For a blanket, yeah.
Because I was in shorts.
Woefully unprepared.
Yeah, that's Sullivan Lake. That's exactly where I was.
There you go.
Colville National Forest in Washington State. If you know the area, it's a wild area to the locals. And you know not to tent camp and bring heavy artillery, which I only learned years later. Anyway, I later showed a group of rangers my audio, and 3 of the 4 tried to tell me it was a screech owl and it was this or that. But the one ranger in particular kind of went a bit white and stayed quiet. The other 3 left and got into their rigs, and he told me, I can't tell you what I think it is, but I will say you are very lucky to have gotten out of there. He also saw the side of my 4Runner, which I had taped over the broken window, sitting in the parking lot. So I can confirm that there are Sasquatch in those mountains. It's the only thing that makes sense. But I've never to this day heard any other audio sounds like what I heard that night. Yeah, I mean, that's cool that it was right there. I got to tell you, when I was doing this, I'm in my car and everybody else was just out. And I'm trying to sleep, but I'm freezing. And every time I woke up, I was just like, God, don't let there be a face in the window. God, don't let there be a face in the window. And I'd kind of like sheepishly, I would sheepishly look around me like, you know, and then I turned my head a little. Okay, all right, coast is clear. Whew. You know, because I didn't want that to be the first thing I saw was a big face pressed up just inches from my own.
Right.
You know, that to me would be horrifying. Just like I never want to wake up and see a spirit face this close to me. I just don't want that. That to me is just disturbing as hell.
I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody sent us an email one time that was talking about they were sleeping in their truck. She was sleeping in like her little pickup with her dog, and her dog was just going off, but eventually settled down. And then later, she woke up to a face pressed against the window.
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah.
And it was lifting the back of her truck.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of lifting and dropping, lift.
Right.
You know, and so who was that? That was
I don't remember.
Oh, gracious.
Did we read it on the show or something?
We did, I think so.
That's got to be in my email somewhere. I'll have to dig those up.
Oh, it was long ago. It
Cover
was
them
a
up.
couple years, yeah.
Yep. But I will tell you, I don't want to see a person's face this far from me either when I wake up.
That's true, yes.
It's like, just, you know, let's have some distance here. I got a field here. We got to respect. When I'm coming out of a sleep, I'm just barely functioning in consciousness.
Right.
I don't want to be jump-started like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Jump-started, yeah.
Yep. One reason for hostility is there's a young family group nearby. Could be,
Maybe,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It was either Sasquatch or Chuck Norris.
Even Sasquatch stays away from Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I suppose he would. Yeah, it was a cool experience to go up there. There's beautiful mountains up there. Not unlike here. The mountains up here are quite beautiful as well.
So I got to go back to this. This is funny. One of the brothers. Jaron Daniels says, Oh, there's one standing right beside me.
Yeah, for sure. Right about here.
Yeah.
Yep. Right in between us.
Don't need to be there.
It was a red one too. That's why the hiss went off.
What's the red mean?
It means a much more energetic presence. Apparently.
Don't walk through me this time. I don't appreciate that. Jaron says, ever wonder what the 2 government agents who talk to people after their sightings tell them they saw a bear would look like? I pictured Jeff Bridges' rough gray beard and Jason Bateman is clean cut. And so I asked, well, what about Jesse Ventura and Alex Trebek? Because they were played MIBs in an X-Files episode.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
That was awesome.
I used to hunt man.
Right?
Used to be my governor back in Minnesota.
That's right, yeah.
Yep. So Jaren says, did you guys see that map that shows the cave access points and the missing 411 areas and how they're literally coinciding? Sure. I mean, and honestly, that might actually explain just, mundane wise, that maybe some people are falling into caverns and they just don't make it.
Right.
I mean, that could be some of that, to be honest with you.
Mel's Hole.
Yeah, well, God, yeah. And who knows? I mean, look, if you went down a drop off and there's boulders below you 12 feet, you could die very easily.
Oh, yeah.
Break your neck, break your back, and just not be able to get out.
Yeah,
so
back.
that could be some of it. Now, some of it might be things that are living in those caves and just go, ooh, lunch. Meals on wheels.
Yeah. Or creatures taking them under. Yeah, like Sleestack and...
Yeah, or, reptilians. You never know.
Yeah.
Who knows what lives under this earth? I mean, we are absolutely as out of our element here as we are in the deep ocean.
Roman says, I don't believe you mentioned Mel's Hole. Why? Mel's Hole is right next door. I still have to find it, but Washington. We've talked a lot about Washington today.
It's not far from Spokane, though, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's like, have you ever gone on Google Earth and looked at like the White House and how it's blacked out?
Oh, no.
That whole area around Mel's Hole, where it's supposed to be, is blacked out. You can't find it. So
Mel wants privacy in his hole.
Mel don't have it anymore. Mel got it. So I guess he was offered $250,000 a month in perpetuity and to keep his mouth shut, and they would give him $250 a month to move out and go somewhere else. So he packed up and went to Australia for a while. Came back in 2002 and started talking. And then I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, yeah, maybe there was a gag clause on that he didn't honor.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I took enough money. I'm good. Hey guys, guess what's happening here? You never know, folks. So sometimes people are heard crying out there for help, but they still haven't been found. Yeah, that's absolutely tragic. And then you got to wonder if it's their spirit, their wailing spirit.
Yeah.
Could it be disembodied person just wandering around, asking for help, calling out? I don't know. It's could be a disembodied voice.
Oh, it's because Roman was reading about Mel's Hole today.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's serendipity, huh?
Yep.
Woo.
There's a really good series on...
It's like magic.
There's a really good series on TikTok. I think it's called Beyond Belief. And there's a 6-part piece of Mel's Hole, which is very, very interesting. It talks about how he talked to Art Bell back in 97 and again in 2002. And I think he did it. He called like 3 times, I believe it was. But yeah, so yeah, there you go.
Isn't there an air base over by Spokane though too, like a military?
Yeah, there's McCord.
I don't know.
No,
I mean I just remembered there was one over there that I remember hearing about. So you wonder if that's part of the blacked out stuff.
Oh well, no. It's not in that area. No, it's more central east.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I gotcha. So it's somewhere over there. All right. Wow. We've had a good journey tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is 8:48.
Rachel, dang her. Bigford calls Devil's Lake Chuck Norris Lake.
Oh, there you go. Beyond Belief is great. Anyone heard of the infamous baby cries in the woods when exploring? Curious to know if anyone there has. Yeah, I have, but I gotta say there are some animals that do sound like that. Like mountain lions can sound sometimes like babies crying, or other terrestrial things, and I can't think of a more unnerving sound to hear in the woods than a baby crying.
Right.
Because of course, I mean it'd be a hell of a predation because of course,
God, yeah,
you'd want to help this child. It's like, oh my God, why is this baby crying out in the middle of the woods? What's going on? Somebody lost a baby. And so, being an average person, you'd want to go help. But what you find probably is not going to be a baby.
Probably not.
And it could be something supernatural, paranormal, Fortean, or it could be something terrestrial.
It could just be an immature piece of mandrake.
Oh, yeah. Somebody might have pulled up one.
Right.
That's right.
And then passed out right
The screams.
Oh, long bottom.
Long bottom. I've not heard that baby crying stuff in the woods.
No.
I grew up next to woods, but it wasn't like a deep, foreboding forest. It was a national forest or a state forest, but you know, it was not enormous, but that's where I heard the growling and of course found the structures. Actually, I had promised you guys, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, Don and I actually checked out a structure not far from here.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to pull that up for you guys because I did kind of promise you some pictures. On an upcoming show. So we got a few minutes. Let's look at those now. So let me just go to Instagram and pull it up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you should be. And it's either Brent Thomas or Paranormal Portal. Not that one. Not her. Let me get to this. One moment. Technical difficulties. Stand by. All right. We're clear. Sorry.
Thank you, Ken Rotman.
I was like, aye. Like an old Scooby-Doo. Aye. All right, let's check this out. Here it is. Here's my Instagram. It's Paranormal Portal Radio on Instagram. So if you check it out, that is my Instagram. And I don't do a lot over there, but I did browse through it the other day. This, of course, is St. Ignatius when Don and I were over there. But let's see. Where are they? Can't be this far. Is it? I must have missed it. There it is. There they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Here are the images, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put them up on screen in case you're not already seeing them. Is this framed right? Let me look. Let me see. Yep. Okay, here's the structure that Don and I found.
But that's like 2 years. That's like the next year, right? That's the year after.
No, this was when we first checked it out.
Okay.
We were with Cindy. Yeah.
Right. But I thought for some reason it was more green than that.
By the time the time it was found versus when we actually went there,
right.
Yeah, it had been a little bit of time by the time we could all coordinate. So it was getting to be fall, you know, as you can tell. But this is just north of Sandpoint, Idaho,
right.
by about 20 minutes. So up in the mountains there. This is the structure, and you can see everything is broken. Every one of these is broken. Nothing is cut. There's no children in the area. It's just these retired people and some older people, all adults. Nobody was out there building this property is, you know, it's not like it's accessible to just the public. It's all private property. So this, and then this is this side of it. Mm-hmm. And you can see like a rudimentary weaving for right. these branches, like out in and then over. And every one of these ended up pointing up, but it was built around this like 6-inch sapling that was pulled over into an arch.
Right.
That was the root of it. And then they built this around it. And you can see that I mean, it's just so incredible. Now there's more pictures coming up here. This is again, it looks like what would be an entryway.
And there's the boat arch right there.
Where is it here? Oh yeah, this is.
That one, yeah.
This is the boat over. Like Don was saying when we were checking it out, it's like, how did that get bent over and not snap?
Right.
Because it's actually all the way to the ground.
Yep.
You know, and the force that would be necessary to do that was just incredible. And then there's this one, which is another angle, but you can see into it.
Right.
Like it was like a blind or a hide.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was the same house is that the last one? I guess it is. Mm. This is the same house that the owners had like 30 chickens. Mm-hmm. And they were one by one disappearing until they were down to 9.
Yep.
And that's when they started looking around and stumbled upon this.
Right.
This is about what? How far from the hen house?
Like 100 feet, 150, 125.
But it was absolutely invisible.
Yeah.
It was like so well camouflaged and hidden that it wasn't noticed until they were like right on top of it.
Right.
So it's just really cool. Now there are more pictures that I took of a I don't know what kind of spruce it was, a big enormous tree right next to this, but all the branches were broken off up to about 30 feet up.
Right. Yeah.
And they were here. They were in this structure. Like something climbed up this tree, snapped off these branches, and all of the branches that were used, they're all stem up.
Yeah, they were flipped over,
right.
so the branches went downwards.
Right.
And the broken end was pointing up, so they're all pointing up. And all the leaves, the leaves and the
needles,
pine needles were pointing down.
Right.
So it would like shed water.
Right.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, and so, you know, the takeaway is that these didn't just fall from the tree because if they had, the needles would have acted like a parachute and the pointy end would have went down. So that it's not possible. And then you look at how, as you look at this, there is like a weaving pattern to how these things go in and out and over and under.
Right.
And it's just really impressive.
And this thing is pretty strong too, because
Yes.
our little friend Cindy basically crawled up on it and jumped on it.
Yeah, she was standing on the edge
and
over here and just was bouncing.
bouncing.
And it's like, wow, it didn't collapse. So this is the structure we found. Notice any nesting areas nearby there?
So, yeah. So Rachel says, I wonder, since Bigfoot leaves greasy handprints on windows, houses, would you find grease stains on the end of twisted, broken branches in a tree structure? I would imagine so. As a matter of fact, our friend Cindy, who we were just talking about, has
Yeah, she's got a handprint on her house.
On her house.
Yep, she's got a couple of handprints on her house.
As a matter of fact, I just talked to somebody who wanted to suggest to somebody in the Hoodoo Valley area, which is where Cindy lives, suggest to them to be a guest on the podcast.
Oh,
So
cool.
we'll see what happens there. And that's Hoodoo Valley. That's just like 40 miles away.
Yeah, I don't know what the upside down tree thing means. Now, I have heard that there are some lumber companies that used to do that just as markers, but some of the areas that these things are found are not logged, and the trees are too new. So something else might be doing it too. Maybe someone is flipping me over and I'm seeing things. Yeah, maybe. But this is the structure. Any footprints near this thing about a quarter mile away? I did find let me see if I can find the image quick.
Absolutely.
It's in my files.
It was on somewhat of an incline. They were like climbing up a hill. And the hill was probably it was a good size hill. I'd say like 45 degrees. So it was a good size hill. But we were walking around, we went up just a little ways. We went over the culvert and across the railroad tracks from where this is, and then started to go up a little hill, and he looks down and he goes, Brent looks down and says, "Is that a footprint?"
Yeah.
And so he's got pictures of it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find them.
Probably a good 15 inches.
Yeah, maybe.
13, 14, 15 inches.
Yeah.
And then what he found inside of it, or what we believe is inside of it, was incredible as well.
Yeah, if I can find that quickly, I'll show you guys. I think it might be my other drive now. Hold on. I got to put it over here and go to, I don't know.
You have so much stuff on that computer.
I know, and it's all disorganized. That's the problem.
I can't believe you find it.
Here it is.
There it is.
All right, here's the image. Let's pull this up and, I don't know, open with what? Because, I think the images will open in a different one. I just don't want to screw up there we go. All right, here comes the footprint images. This is the image of the footprint, and you can see up here
The toes. Yep.
And down here is the heel.
Yep.
Now, interestingly, when I was looking at this, I zoomed in as I was using Photoshop, and I found this. Looks like a little baby print right inside of the big print. Like first the big daddy went, and then the little baby came, and maybe the mama walked near here, or maybe it was just the two of them. I don't know. But I didn't notice that in person, nor until I was looking at the whole image, and saw, my God, this is huge. And then there's this little mini print.
Right inside it.
Yep. And oops, that's another one. Where the hell? Oh, I'm in Instagram now. Dang it! I didn't mean to do that. I got to get back to the photos because we can browse through these quick. Let me make sure I'm zoomed out. Where's my scrolling? What the hell? How do you go to the next one? God, I hate these programs sometimes. They're so dorky. Let's see if I just click it. Nope, it's not going to do that. I'll just do this. Here's another image of it. Again, looks like the toe is up here and a heel down here. This wasn't castable anyway, not only because of all the litter and stuff, but it was on a 45-degree angle.
It was at least 45 degrees, yeah.
Yeah, so it was not that we had supplies to cast with anyway. Here's another one of the footprints, and another one. They're all pretty much identical, but here we get into the images of the actual structure.
The structure, yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna catch up with me here.
Well,
or
you
not.
got so many windows open again.
I know. There we go. This is, I guess it did open. Here it is. I don't know why there's no like, oh, here we go. There we go. There's the tips of
there's
those
the tips
branches
and they're
pointing
all sticking up.
Pointing directly up in the sky. And you can see those are actually not that old. They were this season at least that this was created, but they're like broke off. They're not sawed. This one looks like a clean snap. I think this is an older one.
Probably.
Yeah, it was a little more punky, but this is from a distance how hard it was to see this thing, because you can see how well it was camouflaged and all this vine stuff. I mean, it was just invisible. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay, and this is from the back angle. So the doorway looking thing was on the other side, but the back was really wide open as well. Then there's this angle, and you can see why it was invisible. Now, this is, again, from the back angle. It got Don in here somewhere that we can use for scale. That's how big it was. And Don, how tall are you? About 5'11", 5'10"?
5'10".
So you're reaching up to about 7 feet there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So it was really a pretty good sized structure. And then that's the sapling that was bent over.
Yeah. That thing's amazing. Because for it to be like 6 or 8 inches around, it's got to be like 15 foot tall.
Yeah.
And a person who isn't that tall, that can't grab near the top of that, is going to start pulling it down. It's going to snap.
Yeah.
So you have to grab it from the top and just bring it down gently, but you have to bring it down.
Yep.
Otherwise, it'll snap. So something had to be pretty freaking tall to reach up there and grab it.
Right. Now here's again that same sapling a little further back. You can see it's being bent a little higher than what's on frame, but that's incredible that it didn't give. Why does it? God.
Yep, that's what it looks like in winter.
That's winter here. Sorry, folks. Let me find, where's the image that I was looking at? Oh, here it is. There we go. And we can go through these quickly now, but there are a lot of the same images. There's the close-up of the brakes. You can see that they're all like
they're green brakes.
Yeah, they're not dead brakes. They're green. This is the tree next to it that has no branches, and I got some more in here of that. But there's Don pulling on that, pointing to the bent over.
The arch, yeah.
Yep, the bent over arch. Another angle. This is also about, I don't know, it's not too far from the structure, but all these overlaid branches in here, which didn't make much sense. It looked like a design to me.
Were there any game trails in the facing of the structure entrance and facing?
Well, we think it was to look at the hen house, actually.
Yeah.
They kind of made it a hide to have a view of the hen house so that they'd know when the people weren't there. And then they would come in when it got dark and just, sneak in and grab a chicken. And there was no feathers anywhere that could be found.
Yeah.
So whatever grabbed one, it took them away somewhere. And we never found any at this site either. So this was like just a hide,
Yeah, they just went there kind of hunting, watching.
Yep.
And then when it was time, they just kind of bum rushed it and grabbed the chickens and out the way.
Yep. And yeah, we never found any feathers or anything, and the owners didn't find any feathers. So these are all the different images of it.
SoCal Squatcher says Mama left the baby in there while she went for fresh chicken. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's quite possible.
That's a good point.
What we do know, though, is it was never visited again. It was never really used again because it died away and now it's ramshackled. And
well, because we figure maybe it was because we visited it.
Right.
It was found, and we left our scent on it. So if they came back, they went, no. But we'd been all over these woods, too, scouting it out and stuff, so... Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some crazy intelligence. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's pretty wild stuff. But there you go. This is a great image of just looking at that, what looks like a doorway. I mean, God, it looks like an entryway.
Yeah.
Very rudimentary,
it's like
but
like a domed tent.
Right. Yeah. I was just so amazed by that.
Yeah.
Just incredible. So there you have it. That's the pictures I promised you guys, along with having Don here because he was very familiar with it and could add more input into what we discovered.
Yep.
So,
but I got to get going though.
I know, folks. We got to call it a night. We hope you guys had a great time with us. We had a great time with you, as always, because that's how we roll here on the portal.
Real quick, Rachel, there were actually, if from this structure, you go about 20 or 25 feet to the side and down a hill, a little bit of a hill, maybe 150, 200 feet. And there's a pond at the bottom of that hill.
Yes.
So maybe, but nobody thought to look for anything like that. So
what is she saying to look for?
She said, are there any streams Bigfoot could pluck the feathers in running water? No, but there was a pond, but yeah, don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
With tons of cattails in there, which are a pretty universal food source.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did put game cams down there too for about a week and never got anything. Never even got a deer, which was really weird.
Right.
Or even a beaver, because there were beavers all over down there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Crazy. And we put a trail cam in the area of the structure as well, and never saw anything walking through those woods. So
not a thing.
But again, trail cams are really hard to capture anything Bigfooty.
Right.
So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Hope you guys had a great time with us. We had a great time with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Friday when we return. And Maybe I'll do a member stream tomorrow night. I'm feeling a lot more energetic now, so
Good.
we'll see what goes on. I'll if I'm going to do one, I'll mention it on Discord. So keep your eyes peeled. But anyway, what did David Barnes say? I'm still seeing those light flashes when I sit in the basement. That flash on command. Still no EVP yet. Oh wow. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Be careful though. Make sure you're being careful, brother.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so
Being trapped in a basement with something, not good.
yeah, no kidding. All right, good night, everybody. We love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. We'll be back on Friday night for sure, so we'll talk to you then. Until then, love you. Mean it. Good night.